Assalamu alaikum dear students. Our today's topic for discussion is the Stardust written by Bill Brown. In today's lesson we will be discussing about the author, that is Bill Brown, theme of the story, its setting, and we will also discuss the plot of the story. So now let's start about the author. Let me tell you about the author. Dear students, Bill Brown was born in 1910 in Oregon, USA. He worked as a journalist, a park ranger, and a teacher of creative writing. As a young man in the 1930s, he made a voyage in a 32-foot schooner through the South Seas, and during World War II descended a Himalayan river by rubber boat. Two of his books, Uncharted Voyage and Roaring River, are based on these adventures. The short story I suggest today is the Stardust, which was published in 1950 in the magazine Fantasy and Science Fiction. Dear students, Bill Brown was a brilliant science fiction storyteller. Should you enjoy reading some other science fiction stories by him, please read The Trunk and the Trumpet, Medicine Dancer, and Spunk Water. He died in 1961. Unfortunately, he has not received the recognition he deserves yet. Since he is not a well-known author nowadays, this mention is intended to be a humble tribute to his brilliant imagination. Now, this is suggestive setting of the Stardust. Let's have a look. Observe keenly. Suggestive setting of the Stardust. Observe keenly. Okay. Now let us discuss the theme of the story. Dear students, the Stardust goes around three characters, namely Ward Rafferty, the Times reporter. Who was Ward Rafferty? He was the Times reporter. And the Alsops, Mr. and Miss Alsop. And the story is about a visit by extraterrestrials, or we can say, or the aliens. The story highlights the curiosity of reporter and the simplicity of the Alsops. This story brings out the sharp contrast between the thinking and handling of matters by a rural folk and the urban dwellers. The students, the story also suggests that there is possibility of life on some other galaxy of the universe, though it is not confirmed yet. Now, let me tell you the setting of the story. Let us discuss the setting of the story. Dear students, the story is set in a rural landscape in a distant muddy village. The home of the Alsop is a two-story weathered brown house with cream-colored filigree. There are farms around the house, and near the house is a barn. The rural area has but little basic amenities available. Now, the plot of the story. Dear students, the plot revolves around Ward Rafferty, a reporter of the Times, who is called from the city to the country to investigate a mysterious plane crash near the Alsop farm. At the moment he arrives at the farm, He has to face a series of incidents and unusual events typical of the Three Stooges. The Alsops are not aware that the airplane crash occurred in their property many years ago was, in fact, an alien landing. It was, it was an alien landing. Mr. and Miss Alsop are Navy folks who lives isolated and have little contact to the outside world. For that reason, they are quite unlikely to realize the amazing encounter from outer space. Ward Rafferty, on the contrary, is desperate to gather evidence to prove the existence of other form of life. Despite that, the characters are not well developed. The plot is absolutely riveting. Thought out the story, one cannot help but to sympathize with Rafferty's misfortunes. If you want to have a good laugh, if you want to have a good laugh, I would recommend this story. I would recommend this short story. It is full of humorous and even ridiculous situations, one after another. If you want to have a good laugh, I would recommend this short story. It is full of humorous and even ridiculous situations, one after another. One comes to realize that Alsops, despite being described as stupid people, are smart and honest, hard-working people. What's more, they were private of all the technology and the information that one takes from granted when you grow up in the city. Thank you very much.